Emotional intimacy is where an avoidant feels unsafe. Emotional distance is where they feel safe, especially if you're dealing with a dismissive avoidant or a fearful avoidant that leans heavily dismissive. Now, one of the ways that they will create emotional distance between themselves and their partner is by prioritizing other things, prioritizing their job, prioritizing their friends, prioritizing their hobbies. Instead of spending time with their partner, they're spending extra hours working. Instead of spending extra time with their partner, quality time, they're spending more time on the golf course, going fishing, whatever hobby they have. Instead of spending quality time with their partner, they're spending it on guys or girls' nights out, spending it with their friends, taking trips with their friends, taking extra work trips, doing work social hours, answering emails after hours, doing work projects after hours, constantly consuming themselves with things other than their relationship. It's hard to create true emotional intimacy when the relationship is the lowest thing on your priority scale. And this is something that is driven by the subconscious of the avoidant. They generally do not sit there and strategize and say, I'm going to prioritize everything over my partner to create emotional distance. It's something they feel driven to do, something they feel compelled to do, and they often don't know why. And the reason they don't know why is because they generally avoid the emotions, avoid the reflection, avoid dealing with stressful stuff. So they just instinctively push their partner to an emotional arm's length and prioritize other things because it helps them feel safe. The reason why emotional closeness feels so unsafe to the avoidant is that they learned as a child that emotional intimacy is unsafe. This is a person that experienced consistent childhood emotional neglect. They were not given the love and the nurturing in the way that they needed as a child. Their feelings were dismissed. They were never shown how to process emotions. They were never shown how to process stress. So they learned to deal with it on their own. The way they learned to deal with it is to avoid it, suppress it, put on a happy face, because as a child, nobody wanted to hear their emotions. Now, because of that experience, they learn to associate emotional closeness with rejection and abandonment. They learn that the people that you rely on for your emotional needs, such as their parents or caretakers, will ultimately disappoint them, reject them, and perhaps outright abandon them. Plus, they personalize that lack of love. They grew up to feel defective, unlovable, that there must be something wrong with them. So they put up these walls around their heart. And their fear that largely lies in the subconscious, however, many dismissive and fearful avoidants are aware of this fear, is that if I lower my walls, my partner is going to figure out that they are too good for me. They're going to figure out that I'm defective, not lovable, that there's something wrong with me, and they're going to reject and abandon me. So closeness, vulnerability, intimacy, it causes them a lot of anxiety. And it makes them feel very unsafe, especially when they have a partner that is consistent, loving, and emotionally available. Because emotional intimacy naturally grows with this person. Now, yes, deep down, part of the avoidant does long for that. They want love, they want connection, but when they get it, it frightens them to their core. So they instinctively look for ways to keep their partner at that emotional arm's length. And prioritizing other things is a very common way for them to do it, to keep themselves busy and occupied with other things in their lives, and often not really have a lot of time for the relationship, seeing their partner once every couple weeks or so. Busy here, busy there, sorry, work here, there. Now, oh, sorry, didn't get to spend time with you this week. It creates emotional distance. So if your partner or your ex is avoidant and they kept on finding other things to prioritize over you, it's not a reflection of you. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It means that this person is terrified of getting too close, being vulnerable. It causes them anxiety. It's because of their own insecurities and their own attachment wounds. And it's not because you did anything wrong. It's a reflection of their inability to get vulnerable and to be emotionally close to someone else.